Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio. Good evening. Welcome to the June 10th, 2026 edition of Wednesday Edition. I'm Scott Leisure. I want to kick off this week's edition of everybody's favorite weekly podcast, Wednesday Edition, with a word of thanks. I want to express my gratitude and my love for the entire Wednesday Edition community, whether we personally know one another or not. Maybe we have just connected through social media. That's okay. If you take time for me and I take time for you, that's what it's all about, right? I'm glad we are together. I'm glad you are making a choice to use some of your valuable time to check out what Scott Leisure decides to spew this week. But most of all, I want you to know that I value our connection. I'm just going to keep slapping my shit out here every Wednesday. If you've been following for a while, you know the routine. Wednesday Edition is coming at you every week. It's something I'm passionate about. It brings me calm. It's the perfect outlet for some of my creative energies. And it gives me a platform for you to get to know part of me at a place that I can express views, express freedoms and liberties, and a place that I can help and maybe educate my friends, followers, and members of the Wednesday Edition network. It's been a magnificent week here in the Mile High City. Besides the challenges of everyday life, right? Traffic, groceries, automated operators when you call places to ask a simple question, PTAs, HOAs, mail delivery, stolen or lost packages, road construction, road rage, political differences, social differences. Is that a guy? Was that a girl? Where is my money going? Do I want to round up? Did I remember to bring bags? My window is between 12 and 6. There's laundry. There's high gas prices. And does the guy really get offended if I call him homeless and not unhoused or a person experiencing homelessness? Should I continue? We have to navigate a lot of these things, sometimes daily. Sometimes it can seem a tad daunting, right? Daunting. We have to try to do all of this while trying our best to stay in our lane. Don't offend the homeless guy. Don't judge. Don't run any yellow lights. Don't follow too close. And don't cut anyone off. Is anyone picking up what I'm laying down? You see, it's a balancing act sometimes. There are days that the world and days in life that throw as much stuff at you as possible. You will hit every red light. You will get behind every driver that decides to drive the speed limit. You will get behind the guy in line that wants to tell the cashier their life story. You will spill something. Your internet will go out. Blah, 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 blah. All of it. Everyday stuff, right? We have to balance how we react, how we respond, how we cope, and how we rise above all of it. We have to stay true to ourselves too, and stay true to our values, our beliefs, and what we stand for. The trick is to be able to do this without hurting, shaming, or offending anyone. And there are a lot of people out there that are soft. Just saying. People will get offended about stuff that has absolutely zero bearing on anything in their world. I'm not wrong. In doing my research for this week's edition of Wednesday Edition, I read someone explain it this way. There are three lanes. There's my lane, there's your lane, and there's God's lane, or Allah, or Krishna, whatever. You do you, right? Let's just call it the universe's lane. There is one thing that usually steers us out of our lane and into someone else's lane: ego. And what is ego? It's fear. You see, ego wants you to get out of your lane to fix, fight, or control things that are in other people's lane. Does that make sense? Scott, hold the phone, dial it back, slow down, and hit the pause button. How can I recognize when my ego tries to steer me out of my lane? That is where your ego will try to deceive you. Scott, just what the fuck are you talking about? You see, the best way to recognize when you are steering out of your lane is through your feelings and your emotions. Your ego will do its best to fight your true feelings because it wants to be in control. You see? Anxiety, frustration, sadness, anger, all signals that you are out of your lane. You are getting in someone else's lane, and it might be mine. When you are veering into other lanes, you are ignoring what is in your lane, your priorities, your goals, your responsibilities. When you are ignoring the things in your lane, you are only cheating yourself and the future version of yourself. You should fill your lane, your journey, with things that are beneficial to you, things that bring you joy, and things that bring you peace and serenity, right? That is a big enough task in itself without letting our ego take the wheel and fill our thoughts with non productive, ugly, and unhealthy stuff. Before we get into a couple of stories about people definitely not in their lanes, I want to swerve into your lane for a second and remind you that Cash Friday is in 2 days, every week. Every week. Pull out of traffic on Friday morning and stop at the ATM, okay? You don't even need to get out of your car. Take out $20 and please make an effort to spend it with an artist or a local small business this weekend. You can probably spend $20 at the first one or two tents at the Sunday farmers market. Just saying. Okay. I'm just going to read this headline first, and you tell me if you had this on your bingo card. Australian cockroach kingpin caught with 100,000 illegal insects in record bug bust. Oh, you did? You had Australian cockroach kingpin caught with 100,000 illegal insects in record bug bust on your bingo card? You see, Australia has strict biosecurity controls at its borders to protect its agriculture, horticulture, and its native wildlife from pest infestations, as should every country, right? More than 100,000 live cockroaches that are illegal to keep in Australia were confiscated from a single breeder in the country's largest ever seizure of exotic bugs. The bust happened about a month ago, and most of the bugs were Madagascar hissing cockroaches worth over $100,000. So these cockroaches don't have wings, so they emit a hissing sound as their defense. The Madagascar hissing cockroach can grow to 3 inches in length. Officials say that this haul of bugs was probably going to be used to sell for reptile food. People also keep hissing Madagascar cockroaches as pets. You do you. Stay in my lane, stay in my lane, stay in my lane, stay in my lane. I got nothing. Stay in my lane and don't judge people for wanting giant hissing cockroaches as pets. Be grateful that I, Scott Leisure, will never have a giant hissing cockroach as a pet. And if I ever find myself working as a cockroach dealer and I have 100,000 giant hissing Madagascar cockroaches to unload, be sure to check the laws and regulations of the country that I am trying to smuggle them into. We are always learning here on Wednesday Edition. Did you think that story was a little messed up? Are you wishing you had stayed in your lane a bit? Okay. Then maybe you don't want to hear about the 37-year-old woman in Brazil who spent 14 months convincing a family she was a 12-year-old girl in need of adoption. Yeah, that's what I thought. She drank from a baby bottle. She used a pacifier. She faked night terrors. Her plan started when she approached a pastor at a church saying she was a runaway from an abusive home named Gabriella. The pastor's congregation took her in financially and referred her to a local family. The couple paid for her medications. They threw her a birthday party for her 12th birthday, and they were actively planning to legally adopt her. How does this 37-year-old woman con these people? Besides the fact that this couple might be the most gullible people on the planet. Hey, did you know that the word gullible isn't in the dictionary? Go ahead, look it up. She claimed forced hormone treatments in childhood had altered her appearance, and the years of abuse from her father had aged her prematurely. The couple's family wasn't as naive and gullible as they were. And eventually, a relative looked online and found eerily similar cases and called the police. After some digging, it was found that this wasn't Gabriella's first rodeo. Investigators connected her to nearly identical cons across at least 7 Brazilian states, each time presenting herself as a child who had fled abuse, trafficking, or even a family involved in the occult. Gabriella confessed during interrogation and was charged with fraud and identity theft before being transferred to Joinville Women's Prison. A judge also granted the defense's request for a psychiatric evaluation. Her attorney has suggested she may not be fully responsible for her actions. This couple was going to adopt her. Hey, Bruce, Karen, how old is that beautiful little girl of yours? 12? Well, she doesn't look a day past 40. What in the actual flip is wrong with people? Stay in my lane, stay in my lane, stay in my lane. It's almost crucial that I stay in my lane, right? At least for me it is. I need to remain focusing on my priorities and the things that I want to do and the goals I want to accomplish. If I am busy doing that, I don't have any time to be driving in other people's lanes. To the people that are using all of their own time and energy swerving in and out of everyone else's lanes, isn't it tiring? I would think leading a life like that would be completely draining, but you do you. Hissing Madagascar cockroach smugglers, careless drivers, egos, drive through ATMs, doing our best to not offend the homeless community, the unhoused community, and 37-year-old Brazilians using pacifiers and conning really gullible people for birthday parties. All of this on another phenomenal edition of Wednesday Edition. I want to give a couple of quick shout outs before we wind this thing down. First shout out to the guy at Sprouts this week that asked me if I worked there. I wasn't even wearing a green shirt. The next shout is to the guy at the gym who politely forced me to pause my music so he could ask me how many reps I had left on the machine. Bro, I have 1,000 reps left and I'm just getting started. Do your part today and do your part this week to help keep cash alive. Google these 3 things, okay? Number 1, Google Madagascar hissing cockroach and hit the image tab. Ugly suckers, aren't they? Number 2, Google Brazilian 37-year-old adoption and read up on her so you don't ever become as gullible as the people that were going to adopt her. Stay in my lane. 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 Number 3, Google and read chapter 4 of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. But Scott, I'm not an alcoholic, at least not an anonymous one. Chapter 4 talks about a power greater than ourselves. Remember earlier when we were talking about God and the universe? Also, remember that the price we pay for associating with the wrong people is enough reason for us to be stricter about who we keep in our circles, right? If you are a cockroach smuggler or a con artist pretending to be a kid, or you can't seem to find your way around a grocery store or a gym, stay in your lane and stay in your circle. Okay? Here we go. The top 5 songs from June 10th, 1977. We really jumped in the DeLorean on this one. June 10th is also Portugal Day. So happy Portugal Day to the Portuguese Wednesday Edition community. Let's do this. Top 5 songs, June 10th, 1977. Number 5, Feels Like the First Time, Foreigner, the debut single from a really great band. Great song, off to a hot start, okay? 1 for 1. Number 4, Gonna Fly Now, Bill Conti, the theme from Rocky, the Italian stallion, right? Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, Gonna Fly Now, running up the steps with the kids in Philly. Is everybody with me? A big Italian thumbs up, 2 for 2. Number 3, Got to Give It Up, Marvin Gaye, funky, sexy, cool. This song has all of it. Amen for Marvin Gaye. It is June. Isn't everything gay? 3 for 3. Number 2, Dreams. Fleetwood Mac. I'm a huge Fleetwood Mac fan, huge Stevie Nicks fan. Thunder only happens when it's raining, people. That's all I got. And what you lost, and what you had, ooh, and what you lost. 4 for 4. Okay, here it is. The number 1 song, June 10th, 1977. I'm Your Boogeyman. KC and the Sunshine Band. 5 for 5. A perfect countdown. And one of the funkiest of all of the funky songs ever by a white guy, Harry Wayne Casey. I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. I'm here to do now whatever I can, be it early morning, late afternoon, or at midnight. Oh, it's never too soon. Stay in your lane this week, people, okay? Or stay in whatever lane your universe is in. Just don't be getting in my lane. Check import-export regulations when traveling. Be aware of your surroundings, get outdoors, make good choices, eat real food, call your mom, hug a tree, and don't get trafficked. Remember that all of the editions of Wednesday Edition are posted on the YouTube channel. But Scott, I'm not subscribed to the YouTube channel. Wednesday Edition. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m., only on YouTube and scottleisure.com. Subscribe to the YouTube and message me if you want a free t-shirt, But don't message me looking to be adopted. I'm not currently taking in any squatters, refugees, con artists, or people seeking asylum. Thank you again, Wednesday Edition community. Thank you for your interest, your feedback, and your support. Remember, true approval isn't in a number or a click or a like. It's in you. It's in how you react to situations and how often you swerve out of your lane, right? Stay vigilant. Don't litter. Eat some protein. Practice some stewardship and some integrity this week. I will see you down the road next week. Good night.